Are you prepared for the next recession? Do these 6 things and you will be, no matter when it comes. The entire world has been on recession watch for the past few years, and we have conflicting signs in the economy. Yeah, the yield curve inverted, but we never got to tight money by the Fed. Manufacturing has slowed, but the consumer still seems strong. In my area of the world, we see that RV sales have slowed, but home building appears to be fine. So there's conflicting signs out there, but the fear is real, and people are bracing for whatever may lie ahead. When will it come? It's impossible to know, but obviously we will have another recession. It's inevitable. So the inevitable question is, are you ready? If I knew a recession was going to happen in the next 12 months, here's exactly what I would tell you to do. First, and it sounds boring, but make sure you have a budget in place. And I'm not just talking about knowing what's coming in and what's going out. I mean a full 3 bank account system. That's what we call it at my firm. You need to know how much money is coming in every month and what all your monthly expenses are. But then you also need to look ahead and list out all of your upcoming expenses that don't happen every single month and set up the right amount of money, setting that aside so that you're prepared when those things come up. This is crucial in order to be prepared for a next recession. You've got to know where you can cut and where you can't. And a full 3 bank account system gives you that clarity. You can cut back on the next vacation. You can't cut back on paying the life insurance. You can cut back on going out to eat. You can't cut back on your mortgage. Your budget gives you that clarity. Next, that 3rd bank account that I'm talking about in the 3 bank account system is your financial confidence account, better known as your emergency fund. You've got to make sure that thing is stocked and ready to go if you're preparing for a recession. So make sure that you've got the right amount in there. Not sure what that amount is? Talk to your certified financial planner, but a ballpark is starting in that 3 to 6 months of whatever that spending number was up in your budget. Here's the other thing, though, about the emergency fund. When a recession hits, this is when you need to make sure that you've kept your hands off of that emergency fund, except for true emergencies. Don't raid it for that next vacation. And if you already did, you've got to spend some time building that thing back up before the next recession hits. The 3rd thing I would tell you to do if we knew a recession was coming within 12 months is I would pay off all consumer debt, really pay off as much debt as possible. Notice the first thing that I said was build a budget, and that way you know how much cash is coming in and really how much cash you have to go towards long-term goals. The second thing I said was build up as much cash as possible, but now balancing all of that, if you've got debt, you also need to pay down as much as possible. If you see a drop in your income because of the next recession, or worse, you find yourself unemployed for a little bit of time, all that consumer debt is going to be weighing you down and cost you precious dollars. So to the extent it's still festering in your financial life, if you're serious about preparing for the next recession, find a way, sacrifice, sell stuff, I don't really care, but get as much consumer debt paid off as possible. Next, build out your retirement plan. This gives you the clarity of whether you're on track or not to reach those long-term financial goals. Hopefully, going through the 5 factors and the discipline process of seeing where you stand in regards to this goal reveals that you're on track. But if not, find out what you need to do to get on track and start doing it. But here's why you must do this before the next recession. You then need to stress test your retirement plan. What if your income drops and therefore you can't save as much towards retirement? What if your investments drop or they really don't grow for the next few years? What trade-offs will you need to make in order to stay on track? In and after 2008, we had several clients come into our office and say, hey, I guess that retirement goal's out the window. But because we had that clarity of where they stood with their retirement plan, we could quickly show them what minor adjustments they would need to make to get back on track. Hey, you thought you wanted to retire at 63 and a half? Could you work until 65? You thought you needed to spend $8,000 a month? Could you spend $7,000? And that adjustment, that trade-off made the plan work. Build out your retirement plan now and stress test it so that you have clarity going into the next recession where you stand with that goal. 5th, and let's be honest, this is the one you really care about, what to do with your investments if you're preparing for the next recession. Before the next recession, make sure you're taking the right level of risk in your investments to reach your goal. No more, no less. Why is this important? Because it's impossible to perfectly time and invest for the next recession. It just is. And the point of investing is not to avoid the drops. It's to participate in the long-term appreciation of the markets. Instinctively, we want to try and avoid the drops. You think you can't reach your goals if your investments are going down, but the truth is, you can't have growth without exposing yourself to those temporary losses. So what's your investment strategy? If you're following the crowd, then you're in trouble. You need to be using a strategy that is built for good times and bad, using a foundation of diversification and then a momentum component, and is consistent with your goals, risk tolerance, and timing for when you need the money. In fact, I would tell you, if we are going to see a recession within 12 months, you've got to figure out how much money you're going to need to pull out of your investments within the next 3 years if you're approaching retirement or in retirement. And that money should be at low risk. You then need to look, how much money will you be pulling out within 7 years after that, and make sure that money is balanced. And then finally, any money that you're not going to touch for 10 years, even if we see a recession, guys, we might see 2 over those next 10 years. That money still needs to be positioned for growth. Investing wisely through a recession is what separates people financially. So, before the next recession, make sure you've got the right strategy. And finally, once you've done all of that, you've got to make a commitment to yourself right now to continue to invest through the next recession. Decide that now before we see the turbulence and uncertainty, because during the recession, you're going to see plenty of reasons why you'll feel compelled to stop investing. As you see your strategies going down, you think, why am I continuing to save? It's like throwing money away, right? Then you'll hear your friends say that they got out of the market or that the market's down and it's going to keep going down. And all of that will be temptation to you to stop investing. But you know that's how you make money, is to buy when things are low and sell when things are high. And this next recession, you will be able to buy at lower prices. So you've got to be committed to still investing through that, even when you don't feel like you want to. So that's what I'd have you do if we knew a recession was going to hit within the next 12 months. All of that needs to fit within your overall financial life. So before any of those things, really, if you're not already doing comprehensive financial planning, which we call One Plan with a certified financial planner, then that's really the first step on the recession preparation list. And all of these other steps, personalized to your specific situation, flow out of that. Leave a comment below. You agree, you disagree, you think the recession's coming, you think it's still way off, let me know. Don't forget, subscribe to this channel for all Wise Money content and make sure that that bell is turned on so you'll receive notifications for future videos just like this one. All right, there you go. Go out and take your next wise step in your financial life.